All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Green White Checker TV. Tonight we have race number 2 of the Thursday Night Superspeedway Xfinity Series, and we are here tonight at Talladega Superspeedway for scheduled 75 laps here tonight. As always, rules still pretty much the same. We have 3 green white checkered attempts, 1 fast pair available. I just saw a setting change I have wrong. So I'm going to be a pro streamer, make a quick adjustment here, so don't mind me. All right, you saw nothing happened there. But yeah, hope you're all having a wonderful evening. Happy Friday Eve. And so we're back at it here tonight. Looking forward to the racing. I hope everybody enjoyed the Memorial Day weekend racing as well. So I gotta say, highlight for me was the IndyCar race. That was a wild one. Just never knew how it was gonna end there. A little bit less passing, if any, on the F1 side, and then Cup, unfortunately, it looked like it was gonna be a good one, but unfortunately ended early, which was a bummer. So, but yeah, hope everybody is doing well this evening. Right now, drivers making their qualifying laps as we speak. So, the big thing though with the Super Speedway Series is plenty of rule changes now. Basically, kind of from now on, it's just basically your points are where you finish. We've actually went ahead and done away with just basically going full with NASCAR points. Obviously, no stages or anything. But yeah, so pole sitter, highest climber, lap led, most laps led, incident free, all those are out of the window. We'll see if anything changes over the course of the season. Like I said, we've got a really good group of drivers. Let's say the incentives of bonus points for like a clean race and all that. I think these guys just try to race clean in general, so not too worried about that one. So yeah, so it's gonna be a lot of fun to see how this season shakes out. So last week it was Boomer Logan calling the shots. Tonight I am in the booth here with a Mr. Matt Wagner. Wasn't able to join us unfortunately last week, but he is here tonight. And I'm gonna see if I can spy out here one of our partners in crime. I don't see him on track yet, but we'll peek an eye on it. We'll be dragging him in from time to time here tonight as well. So we've got the house car in business here tonight, Matt. That's going to be a lot of fun to kind of get some insider info from him, steal him from some of the guys he's going to race with tonight. But looking forward to this evening. And it'll be fun to getting Boomer back in the car, do some super speedway racing, and it's been something he's been kind of rearing to do here for a little while.
Yeah, he's been talking about it like for the longest time, and he told me he wasn't going to qualify. So he's got his work cut out for him tonight. He does have a fair group of tough drivers for him to, as you would say, beat.
Yeah, no, it's a really solid group. I mean, every week it's a solid crew that you're going to have to try to compete against them. Also, before we kick things off, I definitely want to give all my love to Gabe Butler and family. Unfortunately, a family member passed away recently, so he's not here tonight because he's so it's one of the things. The technology is great on some situations because unfortunately they're very, very far away, so they're able to do like a virtual service attendance. So Gabe, I hope you are doing well, and definitely give everybody our best and thinking of you and the family, man. So miss you tonight, but again, yeah, hope things go as well as possible for you. So I got to pull up the stats here, Matt, from last week's event because I believe our winner last week was a Mr. Steve Korosek. Indeed, it was. And as I say that, qualifying has just completed.
Let me guess, you got pole.
And yeah, that Mr. Steve Korosek
I didn't even have to look at the screen.
So that Mr. Steve Korosek fellow is on pole position here tonight. Next to him is going to be Dean Wilkinson there. Then you got Rick Sanchez, Eric Lurie, Tom Dixon, our top 5. Top 10, Adam Kilday, Mike Rimkus, Jack Wells, Jeremy Osborne, Frank Ranger Jr. And then you got Nick Wing in 11th, Seth Groover 12th, Kevin Freeze, Patrick Groover, Boomer Logan. It's going to be the first, actually, no, I'm sorry, maybe the third or so of those who did not put down a qualifying line time. Next to him will be Jim Brooks. Then we got William Lake, Jasper Riza, Ambrose Nebel, Bob Fitzgerald, Bud Steele, Brendan Briggs, and Matt Wagner's not here. Well, he's not racing tonight, but you see him on the grid there.
Yep.
But we'll get Matt here eventually. We're going to get him on track. Don't worry.
Don't worry. I'll get the sheer embarrassment.
We'll embarrass ourselves at some point in this one. But
oh yeah.
so I mean, it's obviously it's good to have the ideal pit stall for the 27, but like I said, at this point now it's not really a big advantage on the sense of bonus points or anything like that. So but yeah, so what's interesting too is Dean Wilkinson actually opting to qualify. He's usually one of those guys that likes to roll towards the back here. So we're gonna leave Boomer B right now for the warm-up lap because we want to let him get everything kind of squared away and get kind of comfortable with some of the guys he's working with here this evening. And also poking around here, I feel like we're missing one of our key guys, and that's that 48 machine. Hopefully everything okay over there.
Yeah, on that end. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so we'll keep an eye out. But yeah, so Ryan, Caitlin, I'll say hope all's going well for you guys. But obviously, don't worry, we'll be definitely still showing off that Sensi sponsorship. And again, really appreciate you guys hopping on board, and definitely want to show that one off as well. But yeah, Matt, so 75 laps here tonight. Fuel window should put us in a 3-stop window for the race. So I think, again, probably in the low 20s, I'd say maybe 21, 22 typically. So expect to see that be the strategy if we go green start to finish. Obviously, depending on if and when yellows, that'll change everything out. But also a great count here tonight, 22 cars taking grid. So yeah, so it should be a lot of fun here. Again, a few new faces as well. Glad to see that the 68 Jasperiza there. I believe looks like he is teamed up with that number 18 machine of Brandon Briggs. So that'll be good because I say Brandon's been one of those guys who's been rolling solo for quite a long time. So yeah, I'm glad to see him get a little bit of help here.
That's good. Yeah, good for him.
And then also I think a new addition, the 19 here, William Lake in the U.S. Air Force machine. So good to see William on as well. So like I said, getting a few new names, new faces, and it's always what you want to see. And I said, we'll see maybe if he's going to try to find someone to tag onto. But I've been spying on some of the channels, and we got 3 over in the Blind Squirrels. We got 5 over with the Bootnakas. Say the Groover brothers actually kind of heading over there. We mentioned Brandon Briggs, Jasper Reza together, and then Roswell's got 4. TW's got 4. So yeah, so some teams kind of I feel like maybe merging a little bit. So we'll see if that comes into play. But we're about to get going here, Matt.
We get to Shane Boomer Logan. Let's see how he does on the start.
Yeah, so all the pressure now. He knows everybody's watching him and only him tonight. But now as we get green and we're underway here at Talladega. Again, it will be a 75-lap scheduled event as the field here gets through the gears to head into lap number 1. So right now, inside of really good surge up, you can see pretty much locked onto each other, the 55, the 71, the 5, and the 27. But I'm going to watch Rick. He's going to try to jump out of line, maybe lead lap number 1. He's going to hop in front of Dean here, try to get that big push down the back.
I see a lot of people running up top here very early in this race. Not much people on the bottom. It looks like it's all pretty much all, not really all Team Bootnock. It looks like they're all spread out pretty much.
Yeah, pretty split up at the moment, but now it's all about that momentum out of turn 4 down the front stretch here. And I say we got to pull the thing here, Matt. That's not the start finish line right there in the middle of trial. It's actually right here on the exit, and that lap is going to go to Dean Wilkinson. He will lead lap number 1. Again, no bonus points though, but bragging rights always a fun thing to say that you let a lap let the most laps. But yeah, strategy-wise, though, I'm curious to see, does that change how these guys race? Do we see maybe some drivers maybe ride a little bit more over the course of the season? So it's going to be interesting to see kind of what the game plans are going to be with everything. So, but right now, though, the 555, they are leading the front 2 rows here.
No surprise to see the 5 car, the 55 car. And Steve Karosek, he's speaking of that was that's a little abrupt move right there by Richard there.
Yeah, that's Richard wanting to get that. Wrong? Well, no, that's why. It's actually, I think Mom's watching. It's like, I got to get up front for Mom, see if I can get that lap. But once again, this time still not able to quite get that lap led there. The 27 there, Steve Karosek, he does lead that lap. But I'm looking a little further back, that third lane.
Say, look at that trio in the back. Look at the 32, the 54, and the 25 all linked up on the top of the 3rd lane.
Yeah, say Kevin Freeze in a Groover sandwich right now. Say he's locked onto the 32, 54 is locked onto him. And again, Talladega should be plenty of room to make this happen. I say definitely one of the tracks I feel the most comfortable running 3 wide at. And saying I think you'll see a lot of others definitely feeling the same way. And right now, like I said, I think we're definitely seeing some mixed strategies of how early, how often you want to push there. So that 17 Frank Ranger got a little bit of that tank slapper, is able to catch it there, but definitely I think caught some attention as Rick Sanchez big move.
Yeah, that was a little abrupt move by the 55. He tried to pull up in the 32, but right now the 32 just slides right up into the 55 and kind of leaves Kevin Freese hanging there with the 54 there, but not much help for the 25 and 54 as they may slide back here.
Yeah, I think that was the 32 jumping down because probably Kevin's calling out saying, "Hey, I'm getting hot there." As we look out and say, again, got to shout out one of our sponsors, Whiplash SimCams. You can see a great look out the right side of this car, looking out the right rear to that number 32 of Seth Gruber. So again, really want to thank them for. I've got so many cameras, I'm never going to get through them all, but right now, say with Rick being on the inside line, this is a great one to show these guys as they run side by side here through the tri-oval.
A big shout out to YouTube chat there. Bubba, it's good to see you there, buddy. Yeah, I know you've been, that Chevyland Chevrolet is out front still.
Up to the 55, he's jumping top. I think he said, "I've had enough, I'm going to roll back here." And yeah, it's good to see you, Bubba. I say I haven't got to race with you much lately over on the OP side of things, but yeah, I hope you are doing well, sir. And yeah, it's definitely fun to see that five car kind of keep that Chevyland sponsorship moving forward here. So right now, not a lot of big movers. Right now, Seth Gruber is the biggest mover, gaining about 9-10 spots, depending on where he is at the moment. That was close between he and the 27 as they were switching lanes there. But yeah, right now, he is the biggest mover as we speak. Kevin Freese is up about 5 spots again. He had to drop back a little bit after that. I think he was probably getting hot there. Patrick Gruber also up 5 spots in that number 54. And then right now, obviously, the one that dropped the most is Dean Wilkinson, as again, he's went ahead, he dropped all the way to the back, said, "All right, I went up front, I mixed it up. I'm going to go ahead and relax here a little bit and let this race shake out a bit now."
How about our green, white checker TV car? Where's that at?
Where's go Boomer? Spy on our boy Boomer. He's made his way to the top side. He's decided he's going to run up top here. He's on the outside of Nick Wing, behind the 17 there of Frank Ranger Jr. And right now is holding just outside the top 10 here. And I said this is going to be that house car. Like I said, it's going to be myself in it, Matt Wagner, Boomer Logan. You see Boomer, he's going to drop to the inside here, sneak in front of that number 28 machine.
By Boomer there.
And I'm also keeping an eye on the 55 because he is a little at risk of losing that draft. No help behind him, so he's got to make sure he doesn't fall too far back. He's about a half a second back right now of Ambrose, and I think he's going to be okay. And we talked about, again, some new partnerships happening. We say here's 2 right here. The 81 and the 68, they're locking on to each other here on the top side. Haven't had anything happen with them yet. However, say they're starting to look at maybe trying to make that third lane happen again. Also probably just trying to make sure that they get on the same page and kind of get everything comfortable with each other. So really like to see that. So I love seeing that the teams kind of build up together. And that's something that, Matt, we've talked about. Like when we race, let's say we're going to be able to kind of jump around teams. And maybe, like I said, Boomer tonight, he's working with that number 5 of Rick Sanchez, the 85 Adam Kilday. So he's going to hang out with those guys tonight. I think, obviously, I'll have to, at some point when I race, hang out with my dad in the 51 with the Roswell boys.
Yeah.
But I wanted to see, I've had a lot of fun racing with Brandon over the course of the seasons when I did get to race here and there. So it'd be fun to see that, too.
They're getting a little bit edgy in the back. Oh, that looks like the set. That looked like the got that
yeah,
car
Frank
correct?
Ranger, yep.
Yeah, he looked like he almost made contact with the 6 car of Bud Steele. You know, that's Muff's favorite driver.
Yeah, it is. I'm saying, loving the camo paint scheme there with that Navy car on that 6. And yeah, it seems like we've noticed a couple times that the 17 car, he's looked a little edgy. And again, these are fixed setups, so it's not like he can run anything very different than the other cars. However, there are adjustments you can make, obviously, Matt, with the steering offset, with the steering ratio. So if you run a very, very low ratio in these cars, it makes the car really twitchy, really sensitive. And so that's something that these drivers might have to be aware of, and maybe look at adjusting those for some like it really really low and twitchy, some like it a little bit more slop in the wheel, and so just really personal preference on that. And it's definitely
Right.
something I've had to learn and adjust on, because what I used to do is what a lot of people didn't do, and so I kind of, okay, let me try something different, and it's helped me. I feel like.
I don't know about you, but I hate change and it makes me feel more uncomfortable. But I talked it with the old Freeze. I asked him what kind of steering ratio he is on it, and I kind of told him not to give it out. But he told me that, and I tried it, and it felt so much better. Like I said, some of these guys with a lot of experience out on the track, you might want to ask them for some tips and tricks.
A little squeeze
Don't
there.
be afraid to.
Oh no, and that's the thing. That's what I love about this league is there really aren't any secrets kept. It's like if you want to ask, they'll let you know what they're doing, and like, oh yeah, try this, and they'll try it out. So no, I definitely really enjoyed that with this series. And so we're gonna show off some more of these camera angles. We're gonna look out the left rear now of that number. Well, I was gonna do 27 though. We gotta get some of the top side. There we go. Look at the back of the set. We were great look. You see the bump right there by the 5 to the 27. Get a good look out of the left rear there to see these guys to his side. Look at the big momentum shift again. Out of turn 2, especially, Matt, that second lane gets a big momentum shift.
I never got a chance to compliment you on that. Very nice paint job you painted that Xfinity car.
I'd say I don't quite have some of the talent that some of these other guys do, and say one of those being Peter DeBorgia, and I look forward to Peter to getting some more action out there with his paint schemes, because 532 for a second there. You see, oh man, these guys are bounced off the apron just a tiny bit, trying to get resettled. But yeah, no, Peter does some great work, as I actually was able to get some work for a car for me for a different series. I say, and again, I love how he does it. All he does is ask for a donation to the Extra Life Foundation. And again, it's a charity for kids, and he's able to kind of raise money for them. That's all he asks for, nothing in his own pocket. Just he spends his own time and energy and puts that money towards a really great cause. So I really want to thank Peter, and I know there's a handful of schemes by Peter in this race here tonight.
I think I got a link to that. I probably could throw that in the chat.
Yeah, I was saying, even if you're not getting a paint scheme, if you just want to donate to that Extra Life Foundation, that's always very, very appreciated and welcome. And yeah, he's been really good with that. Yeah, no, that black and yellow paint by Rick is really good. And it's not even just the black and yellow too. It's got a little bit of chrome on the side. I feel like that silver section, like it's got some pretty good shine to it, I feel like. So yeah, it's a really good looking paint scheme for Rick there. Can tell you the field is all still together. We talked about Dean Wilkinson. He's back with that main pack, so he is good to go here. Matt, we're a little over halfway through the fuel run, so right now, again, I don't expect to see too much shifting around, but at some point you're going to see the guys that rode early, they're probably going to start to try to charge to the front. Some of the guys that are up front are going to start to try to get to the bottom, because it's all about trying to be as far forward as you can once it's time for those potential green flag pit stops.
Yeah, I did forget to ask you, what is the fuel window?
I think we should be in the low 20s so I think it should be like 20 to 22. I think it'll be the rough window. I say I don't have an exact number, but that's been kind of the typical. I believe that's what we saw at Daytona last week as well. Again, it's not a big difference speed or size-wise, 2.5 versus 2.66 here at Talladega. But yeah, so I kind of, the guys I'm going to be eyeballing though, again, to maybe run long, Mike Rimkus in the 79, he kind of stands out to me. I feel like he's just been in cruise control in that car. Same thing as well right behind him, Jeremy Osborne. I feel like these guys have just been kind of chilling. And we always talk about fuel mileage. You got to point to this number 83 car, Jack Walls, which I'm throwing off here, Matt. It's not yellow. I don't know what to do myself.
Yeah, you'd be all right there, buddy. Oh, I did throw that link in that chat, by the way.
It may have been... Send it over to me, or did you already send it to me and I can post it? I'll see. You might have sent it to me. Sometimes it doesn't like links. I'm not sure, but okay. we'll get it over to everybody. You see Eric Laurie. He's kind of on an island here up top by himself. We'll see if our broadcaster friend is going to maybe do a solid to Eric or not, but I think it's nope. That gap is going to get filled here, and he's going to drop to the back and say he's got help from the 19, but I don't think it's going to be enough at the moment.
I see most of these guys are trying to get down to the bottom. They know.
Oh, we got trouble.
That's a wreck. That has to be yellow. Yep, there it is.
Still some more contact happening, and unfortunately some of the front runners are caught up in that. We'll have to go back and see how it all occurred. Unfortunately, there was some big hits there, and so that's going to bring out the first yellow a little bit before the timing of that pit stop, so that's going to change things up a little bit. Everybody's trying to get themselves resituated, but Matt, let's go back. Let's take another look at this.
Yeah,
and see how it all occurred.
It was a bad push by Steven there, our last week's winner.
Oh yeah, you can already see them kind of moving around here, so we'll get a better look here as we come through the tri-oval. We're focusing on that 27 to the outside line. And yeah, just a little bit off to the right, and unfortunately just really upset the 32. Tries to catch it, and you can see how much left wheel he has cut into it. But unfortunately, just right into the right rear of the 5. Also catches the 411. And say we'll see who else was involved in this one there. You can see those two going down to the apron here. And then 27 looks like he gets away with it pretty well. But I saw the 5. So we'll focus back on him. Oh, the 54 of Patrick Gruber, he gets a piece of it as well. And then, unfortunately, you also see right there again, new to the series, not William Lake, Jasper Riza, say unfortunately a rude welcome to the series there, getting a piece of that one as well.
Hey, how did the house card? Did that make it through?
I think we are in the clear. Let's go ahead and we'll hunt him down on the graphic. Yeah, the car's looking pretty solid here, so let's jump back live because pit stops are underway.
Oh, he ran over a few bumpers, but that car's clean.
That's all right. He doesn't need a bumper.
Oh.
All right, so it looks like Steve's going to come out on top here up front. I'm actually going to make a quick adjustment here to my link. That one should work. For anybody who's interested, zero obligations, of course, but just, again, want to show off the great cause that Peter's a part of. So yeah, let's go. You know what? It's time to, let's do some time to harass some of our boys, and we're going to go find that Mr. Boomer Logan. And we'll have a quick chat with him. And we'll see pit stop strategy. Looks like 4 tires, so let's go ahead and get Boomer over here, Matt. And so say start towards the back. Had to do some wreck avoidance. I'll say. So how are the nerves? They settling in?
They feel good, man. Yeah, just yeah, saw it all kind of unfolding early on. Checked up, and glad we didn't get in it.
I'll say we don't have too many backup cars, so I'll say we got to keep that paint clean. But no, so we saw you move up a little bit, move down a little bit. Have you found a preferred area that you like, that maybe you feel more comfortable with, or is it just kind of feeling out? Obviously, then trying to find Adam, trying to find Rick here.
Yeah, gonna try and stick with those guys. They were kind enough to let me in their voice channel, and I really appreciate obviously Rick involved there. He didn't have his fast repair check, so he's trying to get that figured out, and hopefully he can get back in here and get that repaired. But yeah, just trying to find some friends out here. I mean, lane wise, I don't really mind where I'm at. Obviously, you got a little more options in the outside lane if it's not 3 wide, but just trying to, you know, find a hole and fill it, and try not to be too crazy or erratic, and hold a pretty wheel here.
We'll get you back up to them. So say, have some more fun and good luck.
Oh, I'm having so much fun. Thanks for this, buddy.
All right, moving Boomer back up there. And yeah, so I was saying that's a mention I say is right now, I believe, I think Rick's had to maybe jump out of the server to try to jump back in order to get set back up. So that's really tough, unfortunately, for him. So we'll keep an eye and see if he's able to pop his way back in here. But unfortunately, I think that's going to set him a minimum of 1 lap down. And then also strategy-wise, we talked about the 27 being the first off pit road. He's actually going to lead the drivers that topped off here, which is going to put Mike Rimkus and Jeremy Osborne to the front row here. And so, Matt, I feel like we might be needing to do some math here. Let's see. All right, so if I'm seeing this right, with when we're going to restart this thing, I think if these guys can average 19 to 20 laps to the end, they can make it on 2 stops here. So
Correct.
I think 19-20 is going to be the magic number for these guys. I do see the 5. He is back out on pit road. Unfortunately, see, that whole front clip still missing, though. So he might be in a bad spot here, unfortunately. And it's just so far this season for Rick, it's one of those, if he didn't have bad luck, he wouldn't have any at all. So he was also one of those ones that got caught up in a previous little iRacing glitch incident, really, where the car kind of shot backwards into him.
Don't even talk about that.
So he has not had any luck here. But up front, though, it's gonna be that 79 in that Rainier Beer Chevrolet, as we are back underway here, starting lap number 19.
Well, I guess that's the way it goes. He won a lot of races last season, and I don't know what to say.
Well, I mean, the one silver lining I could say is maybe if he can just get the bad luck out of the way now, and that way he can then just go full forward towards the second half of the season and in the playoffs. Because again, I mean, I really don't have much concern about him able to get to the playoffs, and then I mean we've seen what he can do and challenge for it. So we'll definitely be keeping an eye on him over the course of the season. Like I said, we'll see as well for the damage and stuff. I don't know if unfortunately there's times where somebody's a fast repair might uncheck itself. We have times where it checks itself and it didn't want to be checked, and it's just it's a whole beast. So right now though, we're starting to try to get back to rewind here, Matt, with that 79.
Steven got it again.
Yeah, I mean I'd say unfortunately it was a mistake earlier, but I mean he is a very, very talented pusher. So it's one of those things. If you're the car that he's pushing, you're willing to take that gamble because you know there's a good chance he's going to get you to the front.
Yeah. He does have a car right behind him, which he's actually going to push that 27. I think 54 may. No, he doesn't have the momentum.
Yeah, and he'd also mentioned, like I said, also damage. Seth Groover in the 32. He was about a minute 10 on pit road. Patrick Groover about a minute 20. And Patrick's leading that third lane, so the damage he had repaired, that car is looking pretty sporty still. Saying it looks like the 32 also able to hang on to the draft. So right now, things looking good. But up front, like I said, Jeremy Osborne, Mike Rimkus, and Patrick Groover, those are the 3 battling for that top spot here as we are 3 by 3, 3 rows deep. Soon to be 4.
No,
4 rows deep, not 4 wide. Sorry, 4 rows deep, not 4 wide. I better clarify that one. Oh, got one drop into the apron. That's the 81, Brendan Briggs. He said, yeah, I don't want to be part of 3 wide.
Yeah,
oh, what does it say that? Look at that move.
I don't blame him.
After what I just saw, I don't blame him either. I think that was definitely the safest option. Now just he's going to make sure he can hold the draft. Looks like he is good. He should be all right there. He's going to sneak right in front of Bob Fitzgerald. And Bob's doing Bob things here. He is just letting these guys fight, get aggressive, and Bob's just trying to make sure he is here at the end and capitalize and make the right moves at the right time. So Bob kind of races how I would race, Matt. I just I like to cruise, kind of let the race play out, kind of almost like a chess type match, and then towards the later half of it, get after it.
Yeah. I try to root on Bob whenever he gets the chance there.
Oh no!
Oh my goodness!
Oh, once again, a little off-centered there, but able to gather it up. But again, there's probably some puckering going on with those guys. And I was saying, you mentioned the 3x3, 3 deep. It is definitely now 4 deep, and almost 5 cars deep in a few spots. But yeah, we are 3 wide, 4 rows deep here right now. The first kind of calmer section, if you will, is all the way back to Nick Wing is really where things settle out just a little bit here. Everybody else is in a bit of a, I wouldn't say a mess, but a little bit of a, tough spot here. But I think the name of the game, though, Matt's going to be that fuel mileage to see how far these guys can go. Like I said, they pit on 16. We restarted this race on lap 19. So, again, those numbers, trying to average 19, 20 laps, they can make it on 2 more stops. So, again, that's scheduled distance. That doesn't even go into the extra green-white checkered potential.
I'm watching that top lane guy. That 6 car is moving along with the 25 and his teammate, that 071 John Deere Tractor Chevy.
And I think right now, you saw there Kevin rolled back. They're probably trying to build some temperature back in the car. That way he can then lock on to the back of that 6. Because again, we've also seen some motors blow because you can only push so hard for so long before that motor gets a little toasty. So, and you can only kind of get that hot that often and not get caught out by it, because sometimes it doesn't want to get that hot twice. You can get away with it once sometimes, but a lot of times the second time is not as forgiving. So these guys have to be very, very aware of their oil and water temps. Big move by the 27, clears the inside line. But again, that's what you have to do, Matt. It's something that...
Oh, Bud didn't take that. I was surprised that Bud did not take that line.
I think he just wasn't confident that he'd be all the way clear, and I'd be in the same boat, truth be told. And in the day, though, you see those guys make those big moves to the bottom. That's because if you do that slow, gentle move down, that car on the inside, they're going to start to pull your draft. They're going to get closer to you, and that's where we've seen cars get hooked, unfortunately, is just from kind of dropping down too gently. And that's why you'll see these big, abrupt moves, is because it's actually the safer way, as weird as it sounds,
right.
To make sure that car on the inside doesn't get that big surge on you while you're trying to merge in front of them.
Yeah, I have actually done that before. You move down quite slowly, trying to be a little bit safer, but yeah, that's not the case. You're 100% correct.
And again, like you said, it's something I learned from these guys, and I asked, I was like, well, hey, why do you make that big aggressive move? And it's like what I explained is, they said if you do it slow, there's a really good chance that it's going to pull that car right back up to you, and then you won't be clear by the time you're actually getting all the way down, or it'll force a checkup and just, so as weird as it seems, it's actually the right strategy call. So right now, though, Patrick's leading the way in that middle lane. Seems like right now, anybody who's been able to get in front of this 85 Adam Kilday, they've been having a pretty good time, because he has been a great pusher here in this run.
And that third lane really...
Oh, they're squeezing.
Yeah, that third lane is really starting to... Oh, someone blew a motor.
Oh, it's the 85 Adam. We're just talking about him. Oh, we got contact there. Everybody was stacking up just like we thought it might happen. 19 is around, not all the way yet. I think I also saw Jim Brooks partially involved, and I still see some smoke up ahead. I think that's still the 28, or sorry, the 58. No, 85. We'll get the numbers right eventually. However, car stayed pointing in the right direction. We don't go caution here. So again, it's like we do throw, I should say iRacing cautions only. Also got to mention Brendan Briggs. He lost the draft. We talked about him rolling out of it. So we've got the field spread out here a little bit, unfortunately, Matt, right now. We've got the top, looks like 11 should be able to get on top of each other. 12th, 13th, 14th, they are all starting to try to work themselves back to the front. And then, unfortunately, from there on back here, you got Frank Ranger, Jim Brooks, Dean Wilkinson. They're going to have to try to pedal to get to Frank and then to move forward. Unfortunately, though, Bob Fitzgerald, he's going to be on. So that's the risk of being towards the back here. Bob's, unfortunately, a bit on an island here. And same thing for William Lake, Brandon Briggs as well. Adam is on and off the pit road, was able to do that. And, again, commentators curse a little bit on that end, so I apologize to Adam and those involved. But we talked about, Matt, it's just you can only push so long before that car gets hot. And again, he may have been hot a couple times, and that whatever second, third, whatever time it is, just is one of those. Is just one too many, unfortunately. So right now we've got the top 10 together. I think we might be seeing some strategy here. I think what you see right now is Patrick Gruber. I think he's trying to play ladder, if you will, to basically give Seth Gruber the draft to pull Seth up quicker, and then that way to make 4 cars in the draft instead of the 3. So the other thing this does, Matt, is it really kind of shakes up the fuel mileage situation. Some of these guys were probably rolling out of it, trying to save a little bit of fuel. And now at this point, they probably got some of them have to turn the wick up just to catch this main pack again. So the top 10 right now, probably pretty happy about the situation, especially on the fuel side. But everybody else is going to have to kind of throttle up a whole bunch more now. So we'll see how that comes into play. But you can see these guys have just about got to each other. This is going to turn this group into a 4-car group. We know how well the Groovers race together, how well they push each other. So we'll watch lap times here once they finally get fully up to song. It looks like Bob actually might be okay. Looks like they've maybe dragged back a little bit to pick him up too. So I think he might be in good shape as well. So pretty much everybody has a partner other than Adam, who had to pit there. So he's right now still tail end of the lead lap. So right now still 21 cars on the lead lap. But yeah, still plenty of time to go. And yeah, Karen, glad to see you. Glad the internet is fixed for the boys. Hope you are doing well this evening. And we're going to do, unfortunately, say never want to do the mid-race interviews from someone that's in the pits, but I'll say he's also probably playing a little bit of spotter crew chief. But I'll say, Rick, I'll say preemptive apologies were, I'll say we may have done a commentator's curse in the sense of having one of our drivers in hanging out with you guys in Discord, because it hasn't been good for you or Adam now in this one.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be back next week.
Yeah, we'll give him the boot. So, say for your situation, was it just one of those deals where unfortunately the fast repair just didn't take, and so now you're stuck waiting for all the required?
Yeah, I had it checked off, and I limped in. Last one into the pits. I thought, okay, I'll just pull in and get fixed. And then I'll just ride in the back and have to be careful the rest of the race. And I pulled in there, and it had cleared my my quick repair, and I had 30 minutes required, and tried to leave and come back and see if it'd let me take it, but it wouldn't let me. So I'm stuck working. They're trying to get me back out there, but
I was a victim of it last Tuesday. You remember that? I don't want to talk about that. That was bad.
Yeah, so it's one of those things. Unfortunately, I say with it, I say it's nice to have that fast repair, but yeah, when it doesn't take, unfortunately, it's not a great time. So.
Worst times.
Like I said, we'll definitely we'll keep Boomer out from you guys for the rest of the way in his future races. But since obviously I say the only difference is with you and Adam was Boomer tonight. So apologies on that side. But I say I know Mom was watching, and I say unfortunately it won't get the result tonight. But definitely wanted to have a chat with you while we had some time, and I'll say we'll get you back over there and let you play strategist for your guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna go write a letter to iRace and tell them they need to let us use our fast repairs no matter where we're at on the track.
That sounds fair.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, man.
Thanks, sir.
Take it easy.
All right, well, Matt, I think we got a little bit of time before pit stops. Let's run through the field here. Show off these wonderful paint schemes and our drivers here. And we're going to kick it off with our current leader, and that is Steve Korosek there in the 27. Right behind him is Kevin Fries in the 25. And you got Eric Laurie there. So you got kind of the boot knockers all locked on together here in those top 3 spots. Jeremy Osborne, one of the blind squirrels right now, rolling in the 4th position. And Mike Rimkus, we saw him leading that restart earlier on. He sits still in the top 5. Then you got Bud Steele in that Navy machine in 6th. And again, one of the new faces to the name, though, that 68 Jasper Riza. So he sits in 7th, right in front of Tom Dixon in that 411. Is in the 8th spot. Amber's Naval, another one of our blind squirrels. He is sitting in the 9th position. I don't know if you caught that, Matt, but that squirrel on the side, he's got the military helmet on and everything too. I love the little details these guys do with their paint schemes. And right now, last car in the top 10, who's in this main pack, is our own Boomer Logan. Right now, rocking that 10th position. Then we got to jump about 5 seconds back to the Gruber brothers. Patrick in the 54 leading his brother Seth. They are 11th and 12th. And right behind them, they got the 28 of Nick Wing. followed by the 83 of Jack Walls. That is that second group here. Then their third group now being led by Dean Wilkinson. Bob Fitzgerald is now the pusher of that pack. They are 15th and 16th. Frank Ranger Jr. there, third in line in 17th. Jim Brooks in 18th. And unfortunately, those two that are off on their own little island at the moment, the 81 of Brandon Briggs and the 19 of William Lake, they've been able to at least get to each other, have some drafting help. And then right now, the first car and only car one lap down, the number 85 of Adam Kilday. Right now, the first car one lap down had to take that fast repair again due to that engine blow up. So right now he sits in the 21st position, but again, only car one lap down. And again, Matt pitted around lap 17, restarted on 19, and again, our magic number is about 19, 20 laps on fuel. So if these guys can get to lap 39, ideally, maybe lap 40 if they can stretch it, that should put them in one more stop to the end window.
Gee, I hope we're not doing one of those quote-unquote fuel mileage races that Kevin loves so much.
I'll say it's Kevin Freese's favorite thing is fuel mileage races. I can tell you right now, lap time-wise, though, the lead pack is still been stretching a little bit. It's been 50.15. Patrick Seth right now 50.4. So only about 2.5 or so tenths difference. Not a huge margin, especially for 4 cars versus 10. But again, unfortunately, those numbers not going the right way. So, but again, still lots of time to go here. I'll say not even quite halfway in this one. So now it's like I said, now it's just kind of time to figure out the strategy. And what we're going to do is we get a chance to do it over the first commercial. So we're going to show off again our wonderful sponsor with Sensi with a side-by-side. So we'll be right back.
At Sensi, we love fragrance, how it makes us feel, how it connects us to our deepest memories, how sharing those memories connects us with each other.
And as it turns out, there's a lot of people who feel the same way and share Sensi's core values of simplicity, authenticity, and generosity. Our beautiful campus in Meridian, Idaho welcomes employees, consultants, and the community year-round.
That's why we've grown from selling just warmers and wax to selling a complete line of products so you can fill your life with fragrance no matter where your day takes you.
Whether it's fun partnerships with beloved brands, innovative high-performing cleaning products, laundry care that smells as good as it works, or personal care products to create your signature scent, Sensi products are made to share.
Maybe that's why our culture has always felt like family. We call it Sensi Spirit. It's a feeling of love, acceptance, generosity, and community that we share freely with everyone we meet. And we welcome you to experience it yourself. Like it? Buy the product. Love it? Host a get-together with your friends. Want more? Start your own Sensi business. You can earn amazing trips around the world and rewards. You can work your business whenever and wherever you want, giving you more time for the things and people that matter most. Ask your Sensi consultant for more info.
Ignore money.
All right, we are back, Mr. Matt. As we saw there, Jack Walls, Nick Wing, Seth Gruber, Patrick Gruber, they have all hit pit row. There we go. Say that 5 times fast. And it looks like they're all going to come out right together, so that's perfect for them. Again, though, that's outside the window to be able to make it on that one more stop from there. So, unfortunately, they will probably have to go a little further and maybe make that extra stop if we don't get a yellow. Leaders, though, we're starting lap number 39, Matt, so I think they're right on that window here where they should, say famous last words, be able to make it to the end on one more stop after this one.
I think they're going to be pitting this time by, or maybe next time some of the leaders will be.
And it's going to be a busy pit road because I suspect we'll see all 10 cars coming together. So this is where everybody's got to really work and communicate, say, hey, I'm going to jump top, I'm going to jump low. And everybody's going to have to try to be on their marks here for pitting. And again, you don't want to pit too far back and say right now, again, top 10 are get together, but let me look at Boomer right now. He's 1.3 seconds off the leader. So I can tell you also Jim Brooks and company, they're on pit road. And yep, here comes the field. This is going to be all the top 10 coming in together. So far,
Pretty
it's
clean,
looking
Gael.
good. So now it's all about hitting your pit box. No mistakes getting into your pit stalls here. And also, yeah, like I mentioned, a few of those other drivers had pitted, like Jim and Frank and Bob and Dean, so they all hit pit road. Didn't see any reverses from the front, so that's a good start for those guys. Well, you see Brandon Briggs rolling out of pit road as we speak. Kevin Freeze is down and away. You see the boot knockers, they're all rolling here.
Oh,
and they've got a little gap. Oh, yeah, I see a long pit stop. That looks like a 4-tire stop, Boomer Logan. That's going to cost him the draft here, unfortunately. Even Mike Grimkus, though, 11 seconds. That was not the greatest stop for him, but I think he'll be okay. But, yeah, unfortunately, Boomer, he's going to be rolling solo here unless he can maybe luck out and pick up the Groovers here. We'll see if he can maybe get up to speed quick enough to tag onto the 4 of them.
I sincerely doubt that, Gael.
We'll watch them as they come by. He's still building speed. It's going to be tough unless they roll out a little bit for him. Yeah, I think he's unfortunately going to get left.
Yep, they're carrying too much speed.
Yeah, so unfortunately, again, that's that learning. I don't know. They're moving around a little bit. I think, yeah, actually, look at Seth. He's dropping to the back here, letting Patrick take over. I think he's going to try to ladder himself to get Boomer into this group. Again, if they can get a 5th car in here, that's all the better for them. So actually, he might be getting a break here on this one. But up front, though, we've got a 3-car breakaway for the moment here, Matt, because Steve, Kevin, Eric, they've got about 1.5 seconds, and it's been growing on Tom Dixon. So now Bud Steele, Adam Kilday, they're going to start getting pretty aggressive here to make sure that they don't get too far away, because they're also about to pick up Brandon Briggs, give him a 4th car. And I feel like 4 is usually the magic number to be able to have a really fast draft time. So we'll have to keep an eye and see how this gap kind of grows or shrinks here over the next few laps. Right now, looks like that gap is shrinking.
I love these group of guys. I really do. What a drop back by one of the groupers there, trying to pick up Boomer there. That is very thoughtful of them. Like I said, these guys, it's a great community. You guys should come on out, give her a try, man. I'm just telling you, great group of guys.
So I also heard, Matt, while we were on that side-by-side, it sounds like you got a fan club that's kind of keeping an eye on you here.
Yeah, they decided to spy me. I told them I do a little broadcasting on the side, and they're. I don't see them in the chat anywhere. They're going to name and shame me when this is over with. But I think I might be in the car next week. I think Gael maybe. We don't know. So,
we'll see. We'll see what they want. If they want you to race, then they can have. Oh, there's one popping with the popcorn. So I'll let them make the call. I'm not too picky. I say if they wanna let you get some wheel time in, that way they can peanut gallery with you in the car. I mean, I'm okay with that. So.
Oh, I know you are.
So right now, though, Matt, we do have the top 6 cars still all together now in that main draft, from Steve Krosek to Jasper Riza. You got to go, unfortunately, about 2 seconds back to these 3 here. So you got a couple of blind squirrels there, and Mike Grimkus, they're about 2.2 seconds. Unfortunately, also, again, growing because they only got the 3. And then you go back to this group here, which they did pick up Boomer Logan. Again, just the selflessness that these guys have. And there's, selfless, but also selfish, because, they say, you know what, if we can get Boomer, that's going to be a 5th car. We can go a little faster. We can give up a little bit of time now to gain it back later. So there's probably a little strategy in there too. But, yeah, I mean, for Boomer, though, he's loving that. 'Cause it's like, okay, well, I made a mistake. I lost the main pack. But, hey, at least I'm not rolling solo right now.
Yeah, he'll learn from that mistake and go on to the next time when he comes down pit road. Heck, he may not take any tires.
And right now, it's all about the Lucky Dog battle here, though, Matt, because you see on the 19 car, that's currently our Lucky Dog car. Right next to him, Adam Kilday, also eligible for it. And then 81, Brandon Briggs, all 3 Lucky Dog cars right together here. And so, like I said, I do see Brandon. He's got the, he's got Jasper Rees right behind him. I believe, again, those 2 were working together. We're going to have to add Frank Ranger now to the mix, as well as he just gets put 1 down. So these guys are all going to be battling for that Lucky Dog again. Right now, the 19 has it, the 85 and the 81, and now the 17 want it.
They want it. I know. I see Adam desperately trying to side draft the 81 in the 19. He's getting a little bit of pull from the 19, but he just can't get there. Well, so in case you all are just new to this kind of racing, the fans said that, I asked for you to come. So the first car lap down, if a caution were to come out, that car will be eligible for the free pass and get back on to the lead lap.
Oh, also add Jim Brooks here about in a second to this mix too. He's going to jump to that third lane. He's going to fall one down as well. So, yeah, right now, though, unfortunately, going the wrong way. But what I am seeing, though, remember we just talked about the 17 of Frank Ranger Jr. We talked about that ladder where maybe they can pull up to him. Now it's Jim Brooks. These guys are going to start sniffing some draft here off of these guys. So I'm looking at Jeremy Osborne, Mike Grimkus, Ambrose Nebel. If they can push a little more, last time by, they were 0.3 faster than the leaders. If these guys can stay hooked up like they are, that ticker is going the right way. There's a good chance. And I think at this point, I think they're going to use that 51 and the 17 as that ladder to pull themselves up to that lead pack. So we talked about being a 6-car breakaway. Let's turn that into a 9-car lead pack here in just a moment.
I was looking at the lap times to the second group. Actually, I guess we technically call it the third group. Nick Wing, Jack Walls, and the Groover brothers, and our in-race reporter is falling back just ever so slightly. So it's
not quite the lap times they need
for those guys. Yeah,
and this is one of those things. Again, you never want to hope for a yellow, but they're kind of hoping for a yellow. And again, it may not be at this point, I don't think it'll be the leaders that would be the cause of the yellow. It would be possibly the guys that are fighting tooth and nail for the Lucky Dog. We're about to add Dean Wilkinson to the Lucky Dog battle here, Matt. I mean, we have got 5 cars here in just a moment that are all going to be battling, try to get back onto that lead lap here. So we're going to add Dean to that list. And then after Dean, it should settle out here because then the next car in line is going to be Boomer Logan, who, again, is in that big pack. So right now we've got all the way to the 15th position here. And look at Adam now. He's been able to lead that second lane. So here's another strategy, man. Why go for the Lucky Dog? Why not try to get back in front of the leaders and just get your lap back the old-fashioned way?
Yeah. It looks like it's working out for him. Either Steven Kroisek is slowing down a little bit just to let him in front.
His pace looks good. I'd say he's running 50.18s. I think these guys are they're pushing hard right now to get there. And again, for Brandon here, if he can push the 85 clear, that's great for him because then that puts him as the first car one down while the 85 would actually be tailing the lead lap. So almost be a 2-for-1, if you will.
Knowing Adam, he's a great teammate of mine, a great friend of mine. I think he can do it.
And so now we got to look at lap times, or pit stop laps, I should say. Apologies. All this lead pack here, they all pit on lap 39. Nick Wing and company 37. Boomer did pit at 39 in that group, but again, his hand may be forced. He will probably have to pit with these guys just for the sake of the draft. And these guys that are right now, the first cars one down, they all pitted right around lap 38. So strategy-wise, the top 9 cars are in the best shape.
Probably about 60 to about 63. We expect to see some of our leaders come in.
Yeah, magic window, I'd say, with it being scheduled 75-lap race. I think if they can get in around, what do you think, about 50, or it'd be what, 56, 57?
Yeah, that would be your.
That should be about. I think 57. I'd say the window safely opens, but yeah, I think especially if you're the lead pack here, you're stretching the lead on the other guys. I think you go as far as you can, and then have that little extra buffer in case of a green-white checkered. As you see, unfortunately, Bob Fitzgerald, he's got a second lap down here. He has a similar situation. His green flag pit stop, Matt, 16 seconds like Boomer, so his 4-tire stop. And again, it may have just been a mistake, may have been a miscue like we saw for the 5 car, where he had the fast repair set but didn't take. A lot of times we'll see drivers that they've got the 2 tires where fuel only set, and unfortunately sometimes it just somehow switches back. And I mean, you've had it happen, I've had it happen.
Yeah.
It's not always seamless, it's not always perfect. So, but right now, man, this battle for the Lucky Dog and trying to get back on the lead lap, these guys are pushing hard. I mean, they're squeezing like it's getting 5 to go here.
I think Brandon's really doing the smart thing. If you could push to 85 and possibly get his lap back the old-fashioned way, then he will be the recipient of the Lucky Dog. I mean, it's a smart move, but the problem is he's up against one of the best pushers on the service, I should say.
Yeah, saying we're watching out the back of Kevin Freeze, looking out that right rear panel. And yeah, right now, again, this is also, again, that risk versus reward like we talked about. Now it's Brandon Briggs where he's got to be careful. He can't push the 85 too hard. We've already seen the 85 pop a motor from getting that car too hot. And say Brandon's aware of it, so he's going to have to do the same thing. Where it's like, okay, I got to find the magic kind of balance of how hard I can push without getting that temperature out of whack. So, so right now, it's like obviously Adam and Brandon, they're the ones pushing the hardest for that Lucky Dog spot, trying to either Lucky Dog or get back tail and lead lap. William Lake, he's kind of pinned to the inside line, so he's just kind of at the mercy of how that lane goes. Then you got Frank Ranger Jr. and Jim Brooks. They said, you know what? If something happens and they all get caught up in it, maybe we can get a lap or our lap back this way instead. So, and also again, probably a little bit of fuel saving going on for these guys, because if they can save that extra lap of fuel, they can pit with the leaders. And I think that would also be a really good strategy here, Matt, is to just try to pit with this big pack to not lose any extra time.
Adam is really sidetracking at 25. He wants that lap back bad.
I was saying, these are guys he races with week in and week out. He knows Kevin and Eric and Steve, and so I mean, he knows their tendencies, they know his tendencies, and but Matt, we got a bigger story. Look, it's the 5 car. He's back.
Oh, he's back. Welcome back. Rick's on track.
He finally got the required finish. He got the fast repair on. That car is nice and shiny, like he was hoping to have happen about 50 laps ago. But again, I love it though. I say he's just going to get back out there, and again, he can play a role in this still. Like I said, he can maybe see if he can find a teammate. Like I said, if he can maybe help Adam get his lap back, maybe help at some point Boomer if needed. I say, because again, you don't know how this race is going to shake out.
Right.
I say, while it's out of his running for a win or anything like that, he's going to finish 22nd, unfortunately, just with the way the numbers are. But again, he can play a big role for the drivers he's racing with and kind of tagging on with here in Discord. So that's what I love about this super speedway racing is you can make a difference for somebody else, and you are reliant on that. And saying, again, we talked when we interviewed Gabe Butler more often than not with his top 3 finishes. He'll tell you he's only as good as his teammates, and that's what I love about him is he's so modest about it. I mean, he does a lot of things right, but he's not wrong. If you don't have the help, you're probably not going to get some of these wins.
Wins are really hard to come by here. It's a combination of luck, putting your car in position to win, and things just have to fall your way.
Yep.
And that's honest truth. You know, like I could say some of these other drivers, like Kurosek, like he don't need luck. He's just 25. Kevin Freese, he's just that good. And Gabe Butler, of course. You know, like you say his name every week. He's a contender every week. Why? Because he gets good pit stops and makes really good decisions.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, obviously there is still luck involved with, I mean, that's all forms of racing where just sometimes you're in the right place at the right time, sometimes the wrong place at the right time or at the wrong time. But again, you got to put yourself in situations to have a chance to win these races. And that's what we've seen is a lot of these guys is the more and more that they race, they improve and they get themselves in these positions more often than not. And again, it's just one of those times, eventually that luck's going to change. They'll make the right move at the right time, get that right push at the right time. And saying I think that's what also brings a lot of people in here is, especially races like this, it evens the playing field. It makes it a lot, like I said, it's almost a bit of a chess match with these guys going 180. So I'm saying right now, again, we've been focusing on the top 3 in the Lucky Dog battle. But I mean, look right behind him, though. I mean, you've got the 411, Tom Dixon. He's right there. The 68 Jasper Easley, he's right there. I mean, we know Bud Steele's always a challenger to win these races. We know Muff's going to be rooting for him week in and week out as well. So, there's still a lot that's going to be off for the running here. We got a couple of the Blind Squirrels right now. It's still together. The 41, the 04, Mike Rimkiss. So, right now, if things stay the way they are, the top 9 all have an equal shot to win this race. If we get a caution, you're going to be able to add a handful more into that list. So, but right now, Matt, we're 19 to go. So that window, I think, opens this time by where these guys, I feel, should safely be able to make it to the end. Again, though, that's the scheduled distance. Who knows if they can go a little further. But look at the push, though, from that outside line. There it is.
Finally clear. Now who's the lucky dog now?
Right now,
Gael.
at the moment, it's not even Brendan Briggs. Right now, it's going to be Dean Wilkinson.
Really?
If it depends on where the 81 and the 27 are together. Right now, it's probably now back to the 81. But if the 81 gets ahead of the 27, then it goes to Dean Wilkinson just based on where they are on track. So, but right now, say unfortunately 81's going back the wrong way a little bit. That puts it into Brandon Briggs' hands. So right now, Dean is the biggest Brandon Briggs cheerleader, saying, "Yeah, get back up in front of them. Let's get a caution that I'm not involved in, and we're ready to party."
Question is he going to pit with leaders?
Also, look at this, though. Remember, we talked about these guys pitting at 37. They're still
Right.
going here. So I think we talked about those guys having to make that extra pit stop. That's out of the question now. These guys can make it to the end as well, as they've just crossed 18 to go also. So I think from here, after this next pit stop, I'd say, again, everybody's got to really nail their entries and exits. And then from there, it's a full-on just run to the finish, pending any yellows. So right now, like I said, if you're in this top 9 pack, you've got to get in pit road clean, hit your stall clean, make sure your tires are set correctly, and then get out clean to try to stay in that lead pack. So right now, if I'm Ambrose, if I'm Mike Rimkus, I might try to start squeezing a little tighter again just to minimize that time loss, because right now they're just, again, about a second off the lead pack here. So they got to make sure that they get a little tighter just in case. But right now, though, you can see the way the ebb and flow is going. Actually, as I say that, Nick Wing, Jack Walls, and the Groovers, they are on pit road for their final scheduled stop. So, yeah, so we'll keep an eye on them. But trying to find... Oh, Boomer Logan. Not sure if something happened to him. Did he run out of fuel here in the 94? He is coasting.
Oh, boy. I think he ran out of fuel, Kyle.
Which is interesting because he was one of the later pitters. So... yeah, that 94 car is coasting. I think he will make it to pit road. Yeah, he'll safely make it to pit road here.
Gael, I
Uh-oh.
just went through the replay.
The motor pop?
The motor just popped. I think he misshifted.
Or did he overheat it? Let's go back. We're going to do a quick check here. We're going to focus on Boomer. Actually, it's already happened. Let's back up a little further now. So we got to find when this all happened. I don't think it'd be or did
Lap
he...
57 for him.
Oh, so maybe he did have to pit by himself. Oh, yeah, I see the... I think he got... I don't think it's a mischief. I think that... I don't know. That's an anomaly. We'll jump back live because I think we're about to see leaders pit. And nope, not yet, actually. So we're at 16 to go, coming to 15 to go. I can tell you Dean Wilkinson, Frank Ranger Jr., they are now on pit road again. They had pitted a little earlier, so they could only go that far. And right now they're coming up on that number 5 of Rick Sanchez. Again, this is where Rick and the 85, they might have a chance to work together. I would suspect here, Matt, when that 85 pits, I think we'll see the 5 pit, and the 5 is going to probably try to tag onto the back of that 85 to be his pusher to try to keep Mike, to keep Adam, apologies, on the tail on that lead lap here. So we'll watch to see if that strategy happens.
That's a good point.
I think, yeah, I was going to say, I think we're about to see the whole field.
No, he's staying out.
He stayed out. Well, we'll see how he cycles around here. Oh, that looked like a really hot entry from Adam Kildee. That may have been too hot of an entry. Everybody else in clean. It's going to be a stop and hold for the 85 if that's the case, unfortunately. Boomer is on pit road. Oh, a little bit of contact between the 81 and I can't tell what car that was there, but a little bit of contact between them. I think Brandon actually looks like he overshot his pit stall as well. You can already see Bud Steele. He's already rolling, but unfortunately, it's just nothing went right for a few of these guys. But look at Bud Steele, though. He's going to jump out of this thing in second, it looks like, right behind Steve Korosek. So great pit stop by that number 6 machine. And it looks like we should keep the top 7 together. Unfortunately, I think Ambrose is going to be a little too far back in the 04. I think Jasper in the 60, I think he took 4, like we talked about, 15-second pit stop here. So not what he was hoping for. And then, like you mentioned, though, Adam Kildee serving that penalty right now as well. I think William Lake also pit road speeding penalties. So, man, that last stop, unfortunately, it's caught a few of them out. But up front, though, like I said, I think we're going to have 7 cars here still vying for this win here tonight. And then when we get to the Lucky Dog battle, I think at the moment it's going to be Jim Brooks in that lead position here. So we'll keep an eye. And actually, he's going to jump to the top here, which actually I would have stayed where he was because he was the lucky dog spot. Now it's going to go to Dean Wilkinson. A little surprised by that one, but up front though, say these 7 cars are vying for the win here tonight.
Yep. Wow. What a strange turn of events.
Matt, you were spot on there. So, yeah, shifter popped out of gear, and then trying to get it back into fourth, wound up going into second, and that's all she wrote for the motor. So you were spot on there. Not a money shift per se, but yeah, wrong gear.
Money.
And saying that's the thing with these. I was saying again, everybody races differently. Some drivers will have the paddle shifters. Some are going to have the H pattern shifters. So in Boomer's case, they just hit the wrong gate and unfortunately went second instead of fourth. And yeah, that's all she wrote. So unfortunately, that group is, like I said, unfortunately a bit of a cursed grouping in that one here tonight because Adams had troubles, Boomers had troubles, and then Rick's obviously had some difficulties as well. So, and right now, all of those guys, multiple laps down. I think Adam may still just be 1 down, or is he 2? I think he's probably 2 down now at this point. Yeah, he is 2 down. So, right now, Dean Wilkinson is our leader of the Lucky Dog cars. Jim Brooks is the second one in line, but we're going to stay up here though, Matt, because we're down to 12 to go, coming to 11 to go. Now you got to find some friends here. Like I said, the numbers say it's looking good for the boot knockers. You got the 071, you've got the 25, you got the 27. They're all together. So now you got to see. Like I said, I'm going to spy on Discord a little bit, see who we can find. I believe right now Tom Dixon. Does he have any help? Yes, Tom Dixon, Mike Rimkiss. Those two are sharing a channel. So the 79-411, expect to see them work together. I think the 41 of Jeremy Osborne and the 6 of Bud Steele probably at the moment rolling a bit solo here for help. So we'll have to keep an eye on those guys. But again, at this point, it looks like these guys are pretty content to just kind of stay in line here. Again, I think they want this thing to get to the white flag or near the white flag before they make those big moves. Because again, they want this to be a 9-car race for the end. They don't want to have to add another, 6 cars here.
Right.
Because should a caution come out, it won't just be these top 7. At the moment, it would go all the way to these guys here with Patrick and Seth Groover. And then at the moment, you'd add Dean Wilkinson to the mix. So right now, these guys, they want to see the white flag because then they know it's between them and who gets the line first to be able to win this race. They're going to pick up the 19-car William Lake. That's going to put William 2 laps down in that Air Force machine. But again, William, he can choose. Maybe he can find someone he wants to work with or says, you know what, if someone makes a move, I'm going to go with them. But I'll say it's one of those things where you just kind of get familiar with some guys and maybe learn a little bit too, or that way he can find some friends to run with. I think right now he's kind of off on his own little island. So, and so that's what's good too, is like I said, a lot of times if the driver doesn't have a group, if they ask, like, oh yeah, come hang out with us. And that's what's been a lot of fun on these.
I actually will rebut on that. If you guys are watching back the broadcast, some of the drivers, don't hesitate to ask, like some of the top guys, like Steve, Kevin, or Gabe, Seth, or Patrick. They'll tell you odds and ends what to do. All you have to do is just ask. I mean, these guys are good. They do this week in and week out, and they're not afraid to share information.
No, it's a really good group of guys, like you said. And so right now, what I'm looking at though, Matt, is I'm looking at everybody's positioning here. So you got the 6 Bud Steele. He's again kind of on his own little island team wise.
Yeah.
Eric Laurie, he's got teammates, but they're about 4 cars behind him.
I'm looking at 25 and 27.
Yeah, they're going to make a move. Yeah, the question is when. And then the other question is, what does Eric Laurie do when they do make the move? But then 3rd and 4th, they're lined up. They're in the same Discord. Tom Dix and Mike Rimkiss. They can make something happen here because right now they're the furthest up that are actually locked on together. Like you said, the 25, 27, they are also together in track position-wise. But again, they have a few car lengths in between them. But again, now it's all about, everybody's kind of just biding their time. Okay, when do we want to make that move? And Right now, like I said, I think these guys are going to probably wait another 5, I'd say roughly probably 5 laps to kind of get the temps cooled down, get the momentum built up, and then try to make that charge. So, and with its smaller pack like we have here up front, it's going to make that charge a little more powerful because they're not going to have to try to beat 10, 15 cars. There's only 7 cars in this pack again. So it's going to be intriguing to see kind of who makes the moves win and who reacts to those moves as well, because there's going to be some guys trying to kind of slow down that momentum.
If I was sitting in Bud's shoes, oh,
you're between a rock and a hard place.
You are. You really are. But I really like where Tom Dixon is sitting right now. So if Team Bootnocker starts coming up, you know that Tom's going to radio to the 79 that's in the same Discord with him. You know they're going to try and probably pull right in front of him.
And honestly, I mean, and you're right too, because as soon as they see the 27, the 25 jump top, they still got a car buffer between themselves with the 41 and Jeremy Osborne. So realistically, they can get to that second lane and then force Kevin and Steve to go to the third lane, which again, that's going to be an even further distance around to go. So yeah, I think once the first set of drivers make their moves, I think then you'll see everybody start to react and make that kind of try to make their counter moves, if you will. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun to see. And I'm going to double check here, as I think our Lucky Dog battle has just once again changed. As right now, it's actually now Brandon Briggs to the Lucky Dog spot over Frank Ranger Jr. and Jim Brooks. But Dean Wilkinson, I think he may have had a disconnect or something in that. Yeah, I don't see him on track anymore than 55, unfortunately. He was in that Lucky Dog spot prior to this.
Oh, boy.
Not sure that's a connectivity issue or something like that. So it doesn't show that he went to pit road. I think just abruptly a bunch of people passed him for a position. So fortunately, might be some hardware issues. But I'm looking at Jeremy Osborne. He's starting to peek to the outside. I say again, people are starting to get antsy here, Matt. We're 5 to go. But again, I think it's just when do you make the move, and again, who does it? Again, if I'm the 411, if I'm the 79, you wait, force the 27, 25 to make the moves, and then counter. But again, the 41's jumping up. He wants to go, but he's not going to have any takers. Unfortunately, this is just going to drop him straight to the back.
Yeah. You know, that's actually going to help Kevin and...
it does, yeah.
And excuse me, and Steven there. That's...
Because, yeah, now they don't have that car buffer to have that time to react to the middle.
Now what do you do?
I think you stay locked on here, because I think at this point, if and when Steve and Kevin go top, I think you stay low, because I think Eric just a little off center there, and Bud but able to gather it back there. Got a little nervous on that one. But yeah, so I think right now, I think I stay low here if I'm the 411 in the 79, because if they jump top, the 27 and the 25, they're just going to fill the bottom, I think, and push that line even further forward, and then it lets Eric be the controller. So I think if you're Tom, if you're Mike, I think you got to stay on the bottom here.
I was wondering if that 19 would go up there with the 41, but apparently not.
I was going to say that. I was saying, I'm sure if you're the 41, it's like, hey, either let me in or give me some push. Yeah.
Push me.
I got no teammates. Could be a friend. But Matt, 3 to go here. I said, I think 2 to go is probably when we're going to start to see the moves happen. But the other thing I'm watching is I'm watching the 79. He's staying a couple car lengths off. Up there they go. Moves starting to happen here.
Yep. What does Tom Dixon do? Does he pull out? If I was Tom, I would pull out right.
Yes,
yep, there he goes.
Eric's looking too.
Eric was looking, but does he have the room? Eric was looking, but it's going to make it 3 wide now.
3, almost 4 wide. And saying that again. We talk about Bud being the odd man out.
That's Tom Dixon now.
Yeah, they split up the boot knockers. Now the 27. Now he's pinned to the 3rd lane by himself. That's pushed the 41 now to that 3rd lane on the bottom. And now Bud Steele's in between those 2 drivers, the 411 and the 79. You see Eric Laurie, Kevin Freeze jumping up to pick up the 27. And as I say, now we're coming to 2 to go, and everybody's having to reshuffle here. You saw Kevin, I think he decided to get behind Steve now, and these guys are shaking up once more. 2 to go here. Again, if a yellow comes out, Matt, before they get to the start-finish line, we're going to rack this field right back up. And again, we'll stay focused on this group. There's still the battle going on from 8th on back. But right now, this is the battle for the win here.
Oh, boy.
Oh, here goes Bud. He's going to jump top here. Pick up Eric Laurie.
Yep. That move has to be made. But look behind the 411. He's got his teammate right behind him. But then he has really no extra pusher behind. That 19 is not really close to that bumper there. As you look to the inside, that middle lane is really going now. Bud Steele is going to take the lead, but
Momentum's going to the top.
Boomer.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, you see the 41 now. He's jumped to the top side. That's going to slow the middle down now a little bit. So right now we are going to get white flag is out. This is our final lap. Eric Lorry's probably getting pretty hot now. He's been pushing for a while. Bud's going to try to keep that 27 pinned as high as he can. But while they're focused on each other, Matt, look at the 411.79. They're starting to make a charge back on the inside line, saying the 19, if he can get tighter on them, he can maybe play a role in this. But right now you've got the 41 now playing a big pushing role on that outside lane. Up, Steve's going to clear Kevin.
Steve's going to clear them both.
Oh, my goodness, that was close. Oh, contact 41, 6 around.
Yeah, that was pushed just a little bit too hard, but coming to the line. Look on the bottom side, Gael.
So right now the numbers are up top, but let's say the shorter distances on the inside. They're going to try to push each other. A little more contact there at the line. It's going to be Steve Krosek getting the win over Kevin Freeze. Tom Dixon's going to grab a podium here tonight. And Eric Lorry, Mike Grimkus going to round out our top 5. And unfortunately, that contact at the end, Bud Steele, he's going to fall, looks like, out of the top 10, which is going to promote some guys further up. So let's first go back. Let's look at the contact with Bud Steele and company. Like I said, these guys were fighting tooth and nail here. So let's go a little further forward here.
That was a great effort by Tom Dixon.
Right there, yeah. And I wonder if this was just I don't know. It just looked like, honestly, these guys are just going hard here at the end for the positions. Try to get a better look right now. And don't really see. Yeah, they kind of just got together. I really don't think faults. There's no point trying to find fault for it, but honestly, it just looked like these guys are racing hard for that spot at the end and kind of found the same real estate there. So unfortunate, but again, great battle there at the end. And then, yeah, like I said, just some big pushes to the outside lane, and just the numbers weren't quite there for the inside lane. But like I said, you saw Tom, though. He was doing everything he could try to split those two up, a little bit of side contact, but was not able to get around Kevin. But looks like it's going to be 2 in a row, though, for Steve Krosek there in the 27 machine. So we'll jump back live as we've got various drivers celebrating. And so before we get to our interviews, let's go and pull up our final results for tonight's event, as it will be Steve Krosek over Kevin Freeze and Tom Dixon. Eric Lorry, Mike Grimkus. Our top 5. Apologies, had a sneeze. Figured I don't want to do that while Mike's queued up. Jeremy Osborne was still able to bring it home in 6th. Jasper Riza there again. Great start for him, though. Gets a 7th tonight. Ambrose Nabel in 8th. Nick Wing, Jack Walls 9th and 10th. Patrick Seth Groover there, 11th, 12th. Bud Steele winds up being the first car. Unfortunately, 1 down. I don't think that car is able to make it back to the pits. Back to the finish there. 13th. Jim Brooks in 14th. And then Frank Ranger, Brandon Briggs, William Lake, Bob Fitzgerald there in 18th. And then, unfortunately, some of those drivers that did not have the nights they were hoping for, including Adam Kilday, Dean Wilkinson, and we saw those early retirements as well for Boomer Logan there. And then, unfortunately, that fast repair miscue and hiccup for Rick Sanchez there, putting him in 22nd. So now, let's go find some drivers to chat with here. We're going to kick it off with a Mr. Tom Dixon. Got to get him all the way up over here. All right, going to bring Tom on in over here with that 3rd place finish. And I'll say, Tom, you're one of the few that you had a teammate, but it felt like it was maybe one of those just too many numbers against you. And we're kind of trying to figure out the game plan. So, okay, when do they make the move? Do they try to react to the 25 and the 27? It was probably one of those ones where you guys kind of felt like you're stuck between a rock and a hard place with where you were on track. But just take us through the strategy to try to make that right move at the right time to get the win here.
Well, I knew Steve and Kevin were going to make a move, and actually I was running with Mike Rimkus and Bob Fitzgerald and Dean. And Mike said, I'll be happy with a third. And I said, it's not going to end this way. I said, Steve and Kevin are going to come up. But yeah, we didn't have any problem with fuel. Everybody had plenty of fuel and everything. And I just wanted to, make some good pit stops and hang with those big guys up there. And finally did one and got on the podium. So, but it was a lot of fun, and I appreciate it.
So, what was going through your mind when you took the lead with 2 to go? I'm just quite curious what's going through that mind. Say, where's Kevin? Where's Steve at?
Yeah, I was watching them. I knew that they were going to come up, and I told Mike, I said, if we go up, they're going to go up into the third lane, and we'll see what the hell. I said, I'll just stay here because Bud was giving me a push too, and I figured I'll just stay right where the hell I am and see how it comes out. But I'm happy with just being on the podium.
I'll say, I mean, again, these things aren't easy to come by, obviously, and so for you tonight with just the one yellow, I mean, we still had the green flag pit stops there at the end. I mean, how much communication were you and Mike maybe working together? It's like, okay, we got to make sure we nail the pit stops and the strategies, because unfortunately we saw a couple times some drivers made the wrong tire choices, which cost them the draft. So was there much discussion, or was it kind of you guys are like, we know we're taking 2, be it lefts or rights or even fuel only, or kind of what was the plan there?
Well, yeah, I took lefts on that second pit, I think, and I was going to take right sides on that last pit stop, but I'm thinking, no, I'm not going to take any because Kevin and Steve will just run away, and I'm thankful for Bud Steele. He got me back up there. That was much appreciated. But yeah, I mean to finish, next to Steve and Kevin, I mean, man, that can't ask for much more than that.
Yeah, say they're a bit of the monsters on that one, but yeah, you did a great job. And say we're watching you, so you did all you could to try to slow up that momentum through the trial. But I said I think honestly that may have been enough to let you hold on to that third place tonight. So just awesome job tonight, Tom, and definitely wanted to give you the floor for any thanks and shouts for that podium this evening.
Well, I'd like to thank you guys for the broadcast. You guys just do a terrific job. We were even talking about that during the race about what a great broadcast you put on. But certainly appreciate you, Green White Checker TV. Like to give a shout out to everybody racing in here. It was, for the most part, it was a good, clean race. And my teammates that I was running with tonight, Mike Rimkus and Dean Wilkinson and Bob Fitzgerald. I want to thank Bud for pushing me up there. That kept me in the race. And yeah, all the drivers in here appreciate running with everybody. And shout out to my wife for letting me do this stuff.
Yeah, so that's like we always got to do those, because otherwise, yeah, we might get in trouble afterwards. So say, but no, awesome job though tonight, Tom. Like I said, and that's what Matt and I are talking about. Just you got to keep putting yourself in these positions, and you never know when that right move is going to be the right time. And so you did exactly that. You're able to put yourself in position. Didn't quite pan out this time, but like I said, you keep doing this, and it's one of those ones that just feels like it's only a matter of time. So yeah, go enjoy this one, and looking forward to seeing more of you the rest of the season, man.
Well, thanks, Gael. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate it. Hope to see you again.
All right, man. Take care.
Thank you very much.
Hopping in the race, that's going to be out there on the track sides. The drivers get to know the broadcasters a little bit, and then broadcasters get to know, unfortunately, some of us.
First off, I just gotta, and he wasn't able to be here, so this one's for him. I just gotta dedicate it to him. And Eric, Laurie, and Kevin tonight.